Hello, I am Bridget Rowe. I am energy, I am powerful, and I am who I say I am. The purpose of this video is to talk to you, or share with you rather, knowledge. A knowledge about sex and the power of sex. And the reason why I want to share this with you all is because I know that women have the ability, a natural ability that was given to them by nature, to attract, to bond, and to build loving relationships with their partner. All the way up to the level where they can heal them, where they bring peace to them. And I want to share that with you all today in this particular video. Before I get started, I have my questions written down here on this table so I can answer everybody's question that has asked me something based upon this topic. And I want to share with you 2 words that I'll be talking about tonight, so you can understand when I say these words what I'm actually talking about. Okay? So, let's go. So the first word that I want to share with you is called copulin. Copulin is a chemical fluid, and it's actually airborne fluid, like similar to that of pheromones. You know how animals release pheromones? For example, like a dog in heat. You know, the male dog will begin to travel to find the female dog in order to mate with her. Well, copulins are airborne just like that in females, and they also have the ability to travel during sex, you know, during oral sex too. Copulin can travel. It'll start off traveling in the male penile duct through the bloodstream all the way up into his head in the hypothalamus area, in the area of the hypothalamus. This is an area of the head that controls the hormones, okay? So the next word that I want to share with you is called coupling. Coupling is, in my layman's terms, when a man is laying down on the bed. Let's say the woman, first thing in the morning, the woman rolls over and get on top of the man, inserts his penis, his erect penis inside of her, and she just lays there on top of him. He's lying down. She's not moving, but she just has him inside of her. This is coupling. And so when coupling is taking place, this is the perfect opportunity for the coupling fluid that is secreted from the woman's vagina to enter into the urethral opening at the tip of the penis and travel in. The energy is flowing to travel in all the way up to that hypothalamus gland area that I was telling you about when the copulin fluid definition was taking place. So those are the 2 words that I was going to get out of the way first, the understanding of it, so we could all be on the same page. Okay, so my first question about this is, so what does it do when it's in there? So mind you, when this copulin fluid is actually in the woman's vagina, the semen in the man's penis is attracted to it. So this is how this actually can actually happen. The semen is attracted to it, and so this is how the travel begins. So what it actually does is it begins to influence a man. Once it gets into the head area, it's influencing him. It's connecting him with his partner. You know, it's not a bad thing. It's a form of connection. Mentally, they become connected, like-minded, finishing each other's sentences. He longs to please her, and he's happy that he is trying to please this woman because it makes him feel like a better man. He finds pleasure in it, you know, just for being a man, being the provider, being the protector, being all that she needs, because they're connected through this energy, through this fluid, right? So my next question is, how do we see coupling at work? Well, we see it in us humans at work in the phases of dating, and being with someone. For example, when a man, I'm going to start off this way. I know women are kind of like go and get theirs in this new generation, but when a man is naturally drawn to a woman, it is because of this airborne energy. It is always because of sexual energy, some type of energy. All things are energy that drew the man to the woman initially. So while they're getting to know each other, the man, he's listening to what she's saying, her verbal communication. He's getting the input. Along progression takes place along the journey of them, getting to know each other, and he begins to act upon her desires. So instead of just getting the input, now he's acting, now he's proving himself, in the dating process. And some people stop right there in their relationship with their sex, with their relationship. They think, okay, I found the one. This is it. We're going to get married based upon that. But there are more levels. So another level behind him acting based upon the needs of the woman, the next level after that is the woman not having to have any input at all, but the man being so in sync with the woman that he already knows, like he's finishing sentences for her. They are like-minded beings. They're on the same frequency. And so they are connecting, like telepathically connecting almost. It is a beautiful thing to get to this place in a marriage with a partner, because it feels like a team player, and the man doesn't feel slighted at all because he loves providing for his woman. He loves being the protector. He's finding peace with her. That is another level, and that's a beautiful level. So I'll give you an example of that particular level. At this level, say for instance, the man, he never lost his masculine energy, by the way. The man wants to go play, let's say, basketball after work or whatever. Immediately, he puts her desires in his head and figuring out her thoughts first and foremost, without her saying anything. And he says in his mind, well, no, my wife doesn't like when I go immediately after work. I'm instead going to go home, maybe, I don't know, wash dishes or cook dinner or help the children with their homework first, because I want to please her. I'm connected with her, and I know she feels tired after work, and I wouldn't want to be selfish and go do that. I could push my basketball playing with my friend back to maybe 7 o'clock. And so that's just a small example of him putting her desires first without any input from her. He just knows. Or he'll say, well, no, we're not going to do that because I don't think she'll be in the mood. He knows her mood. He knows because he's in tune to his partner. He might even buy her a gift at this particular stage that she was thinking about. She wanted this little small gift or whatever. She was thinking about, she wanted it. She didn't tell him, and he buys it, and she's like, oh, but how did you know? They are in sync. They are like-minded. This is a beautiful place to be. Beautiful partnership. But there's another level. There's a powerful level that only few get to this particular level. Because this has to do with being like-minded, being like energy. This is an area of mind, body, and soul healing that has taken place between the partnership. This is almost like a twin flame type area where twin flames are normally at in a partnership. And so at this particular part, the woman is addictive, psychologically to the man. She's addictive. And so she's bringing him so much peace. She just being inside of her feels rejuvenating, feels like heaven, feels so comfortable, feels like he has found the tree of life, feels like that forbidden fruit that they talk about in the biblical text. And it feels like it's making him a better man. He's excited about her. He longs for her. And he's married to her. But that's just the connection that they have because of this particular energy, because of what has taken place between these two people in this particular relationship. And it reminds me of this allegory story in the biblical text, Adam and Eve. That allegory story about Eve having the ability to lure Adam in to lure him in to do what she wanted him to do. And then at that time, it was about a story of biting an apple. But the allegory text had everything to do with her ability to lure him in. And furthermore, in that biblical text, it says Adam knew Eve because he went inside of her to get to know her. They were connected on this particular plane and knew each other this way. And only few people get to this place in their journey where they can bring life to their partner, where they can heal their partner through sex alone, where they are so connected to this type of power. And so my next question is, why can't every woman get to the level or get to this level with their partner? And the simple answer to that is because maybe she's not at her best. See, we have to realize that we have come down to our lower self. Our lowest self in this third dimensional plane. But see, at our best, our hair is the most powerful hair in the world. At our best. At our best, our energy or our aura, at its best, it is equivalent to that of a condensed version of a sun. We are that powerful. But you got to be at your best. And for women to answer this question, at our best, even our vaginal fluid is supposed to be bringing life into our partner. Supposed to have our partner yearning to be with us, yearning to please us, yearning to provide for us. Being that peace, feeling so comfortable around us and inside of us because they're being drawn to us. But that's when you're at your best. And not everybody is at their best. So, do you feel like heaven? Do you feel relaxing to be around or not? My next question is, why is he not reaching that level with you? Why is he not reaching that level with you? That sexual level with you, your husband. Why is he not reaching that level with you? Is it because, you know how they say, he was beating it out the frame? Is it because when he beats it out the frame, he's really beating that mucus? Is it because it's old hurt in there, a stagnated energy inside of there? Is it because it's old STD clogged up in there? Yeast and bacteria? Does it feel as though he's beating against stale, dry bread because you are so dry and your hormones are so out of balance? And that's a question you have to ask yourself in your level of where you are in your physical journey. Is your portal a portal of life? That's the question. Is it a portal of life or is it a portal of death? And I say that because it is supposed to be the portal of life. Your children come through it. It is supposed to be the portal of life, giving your man life, giving him healing. But if we are at our lowest self and it is causing yeast infections, causing bacteria, it's not that much a portal of life. Causing STDs and causing HIV and AIDS, that's not a portal of life. So why isn't it? Why isn't it at your best? And men, you are not exempt. Men, you are not exempt because your semen is supposed to be at its best too. It is not supposed to smell. It is not supposed to be cloggy. You know? It is not supposed to be stagnated, you know, with your erectile dysfunctions. It is not supposed to be not working like it should because you're on high blood medication. It is not. You're supposed to be able to look down and see it instead of having a protruding belly full of yeast and bacteria that's clogging your energy, stagnating your sexual energy and your power because you're supposed to be making this even exchange with her too. It shouldn't just be one side. And I want to shine light on the women because our portal is open. And there's so many other ways outside of consuming the beers or consuming the high blood pressure medication like the men, you know. outside of erectile dysfunction. Women can have hormonal imbalances where they're dry, where their vagina fluid is not flowing, where they're constantly getting yeast infections because they're consuming so much of meat, which is dissolving into mucus inside of their body, where they're on antibiotics, which strips all of the beneficial bacteria out of the gut, which is why after you go through the course of antibiotics, then you need a prescription for yeast because you have a yeast infection now. It could get out of balance by using things on it, like petroleum jelly, just to lubricate it, the KY jellies. It can get out of balance by soap, toxic forms of soap, because a lot of soaps are alkaline when the vagina is supposed to be acidic in nature, because it's acidic in order to rid the vagina of bacteria and yeast. It is acidic in order to keep it clean. Even dishes can knock the vaginal flora out of balance, out of whack. But the leading one that I really want to tell women about, even taking swims in swimming pools with the chemicals, but the leading one that I really want to share with the women is birth control pills. And I say that because this is a portal of life. And just think about this like this here. You're supposed to be bringing life into this world. And the way that this birth control pill works is that you consume it. Now your copulin fluid is down there on the walls of your vagina. It's supposed to be anyway. And you consume this birth control pill. And what it does is it puts an extra layer of mucus on the walls of your vagina, on your portal of life, just so you could stop life from coming here. You put an extra layer of mucus. So maybe that's why you're not tapped into your power. Maybe that's why you don't even know your power exists on this level. Maybe this is why you're not healing your partner, because you don't have no life inside of that to heal yourself. Maybe that's why. And before I move on, I want to share with you my website, because I just like when people, and I don't want to be this type of being, I just like when people say, hey, you got to stop doing that and don't give a person an alternative. Tell me what I need to do. So on my website, I have a sustained detox. It is a detox that will rid the body of that heavy metal, old fecal matter, toxicity, mucus, and sustain you and give you the energy that you need while detoxing. I also have a transformation course on my website called The Power Within Transformation. It will teach you how to create a better, healthier lifestyle. I take you to the grocery store and tell you about the toxic ingredients. I share with you PLU numbers. I share with you things about the waters and toothpaste. You order it, how to manifest, how to create cash, how to create your reality, how to reprogram your thoughts. So much information there on the website. www.saltoftheearthpub.org is the website for your options. So my next question here is, how do I know? And this is a question that I wanted to share with you without giving all of my personal information on this particular video. I want to share this with you. There was a moment, without getting too deep, there was a moment, let me take that back. One day I was having a moment, put it that way. And don't you look at me like that because I was having a moment. So I was on the phone talking about this moment, expressing how I felt in this heated moment that I was experiencing. And I was paying attention to my surroundings while I'm on the telephone, talking about how I was feeling. And without exaggerating, they had to have at least 6 men that stopped me. Now, mind you, I have the phone to my ear. That stopped me and asked me my name, asked me my telephone number, asked me out for lunch. Not to mention the man who was passing in a car, driving and smiling at me, ended up driving on the neutral ground. I was telling my friend that I was on the phone with, it's like every man knows what I'm feeling. Everybody knows that I'm having this moment. This is how I know, because I'm in tune to self. I picked up on this because it was also during a time where I have, well, then and now, an impeccable diet. I was changing my lifestyle, and I began to realize, like, oh, certain foods just make me feel some kind of way. That I realized that my hormones were becoming so imbalanced, so I was in tune with myself. And mind you, while I'm on the phone with this person, at this particular time, I needed a haircut. My boobs wasn't out. I didn't have no stilettos on. As a matter of fact, I had on some flats. I had a sweater on. My butt was covered up, so it had nothing to do with my physical, my outside. But it had everything to do with my sexual energy. The sexual energy that was lowering, that has the ability to lure a man in. Just like that dog in Heat. The dog don't know what the other dog look like. It's feeling that energy. That sense of smell. That sexual energy is at its peak. Because smells get into our mental centers. And it has the ability to make us feel some kind of way. Just by a sense of smelling these airborne copulins. The airborne pheromones. So this is how I know. These are the things that I know that I'm sharing with you. That I've experienced myself, and that I just want to help you along your journey to get to a higher level. Because it's just really like a passion of mine to help other people on their level too. Because we're all reflections of one another. You're a reflection of me. Why not help me? Because I love me. So this is how I know. Because I've experienced it for myself in my physical reality. Okay? So, my next question here. What if one partner is at a higher frequency or a healthier lifestyle in this area than another person? Well, I look at it like this here. We are given this natural ability in order to achieve balance in our relationship. And I'm reminded on this answer to this particular question that, you know, the allegory phrase of being unequally yoked. You know, being unequally yoked, meaning one person is at a higher frequency than the other. And so to me, it's like being unequally yoked is equivalent to a woman being healthy, having a vagina that is a flow of a portal of life energy, while she's being with a man who may be unhealthy, mind, body, and soul. So his semen is deadly to her. And it could be the other way around, where it is a man who is healthy in the areas of mind, body, and soul, tapped into their power, that has semen that gives life, the life type of energy. Meanwhile, he shoots off into a partner, a woman, who, when his semen gets inside of her, it gets choked up because of her deadly energy, that's her deadly portal at that time. So that's how I look at being unequally yoked. I believe it has to do with all levels. Mind, body, and a soul type level. And so I would say, what I'm not saying here is okay, just because you're unequally yoked and one person is on a mental plane that another person is not. You are a partner. You are a team. Help that other person. It's time. Tell that other person, hey, it's time for us to take our sex to another level. It's time. You're supposed to be healing me. Now, I made a vow to you for forever. So if anybody should be consuming the forbidden fruit, it should be me. If anybody should have access to that portal of life, it should be me. Share this video with them to give them a better understanding of it, so you can take your sex to another powerful level where you are at peace with your partner. Even if you're a woman, you feel as though it's a balance of that yin-yang energy. That you're not always the one that's up all night cooking and cleaning, because your partner yearns to please you and he's excited about it. Because he loves you. Because he's addicted to you. Because you bring in turn, life to him. You bring in healing to him. To the single conscious beings, you intuitively know this already. You intuitively know this already, because at your conscious state of being, you're not going to have sex with just any old body. Gone are the days when you want to have sex with a low frequency being anymore. Because you know that it feels as though it's a draining type energy. Even though you have the power to heal them, you want somebody that complements you. You want to be, like I said, the equally yoked phrase. So, to my low energy single beings who are watching this, and you know, we have the laws of polarity with all things, so everything's going to be two-sided. We're going to have some beings that's going to watch this and try to think ill intentions. Well, I just want to mind you that if you are thinking on that level, you are already thinking on low frequency. And low frequency cannot compete with a woman who's been married and has been coupling with her husband already, because guess what? Her fluids is already in his hypothalamus gland. She's already on his mind. She's already stimulated that mental Rolodex. So it's not for that purpose. So just have some respect for that union. And I understand if you're a free-spirited being and you have no desire to get into a contract, I totally understand with you on that. I do. But at least have the respect for the people who do want to be part of a contract. And do not try this on those type of people. They have free spirits out there. Find your like-minded energy. And so, finally, I am a mother. I am a mother of 2 young men. And I want to say to the men who are on this video watching this, just with the same amount of love that I would tell my children. And I would say to you, I told you in the beginning of this video the position that this happens in. So don't let the wrong woman get inside of your head. And I mean both of your heads. Both of your heads. Don't let the wrong type energy get inside of your heads. Choose wisely. You know the position. Knowledge is power. And this goes for both sex. And we should be using knowledge as our power. Now, I'm not here to telling nobody what to do with their energy. That's your life. That's your journey. But seemingly, if you are trying to go somewhere with somebody, you know how men they meet women, and it happens with women too. You'll meet a person and you know whether you want this person to be a wifey material, if it's a friend with benefit material, or if it's going to just be a friend zone, period, off limits type person. You already know that, just like women already know that. We know. So what I'm saying here is, don't let just anybody get on the throne, men. Don't let just anybody get on the throne unless they're worthy to be on the throne. Because you don't want to share this like-minded type energy with somebody that means you no good. That's all I'm saying. I wish above all things that you find the power in sex. There's great love here for you from me and from the ancestors. Be blessed and wake up, gods.